Here we are. It's Sunday morning. Storm Ciara has hit the UK, so we're just going to tell you a little story about the history of Valentine's Day, its origins, how it relates to ancient Roman culture, and whilst we're doing it, take you on a little kind of tour around the Roman city of St Albans, which we're lucky enough to live quite near to.
We hope you find this interesting. It's also to commemorate our 100 subscriber.
Yeah, 100 subscribers last night.
So our first stop is St Albans Museum and Gallery. You can see it's a bit windy here. Built between 1829 and 1831, this building was designed to serve as St Albans courthouse, as well as functioning as a town hall for St Albans. Inside, you can now find a lovely cafe.
Here we are in the courtroom tea room.
We're having a little treat of a breakfast. This is actually the old courtroom. Is very cool. I'm going to show you a glance. There's a lot of people having breakfast, so I don't want to interfere too much. It's a very cool room to have a cup of tea.
This courtroom was the centre of local justice for 130 years. It's one of the few remaining pre-Victorian courtrooms in the country. Now we're just going to go down into what used to be the cells underneath the courtroom. Down into the dungeons.
These are the actual cells. So I think that big room must have been the police room. Or you know I'm little.
Or maybe they kept several people in there together.
This is how big the cell was.
Yeah, well, people were short, weren't they?
No shorter than me.
This is, what, 300-year-old plug sockets, conduit. Oh, that was a joke.
I know that. You're hilarious. Those are the toilets.
That's a toilet. They've turned a cell into a pooper. But there's no cell doors. That's cool.
Let's follow the path the prisoner had to follow to go to their trial.
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 You're on trial.
The courtroom. Of St Albans under us. This is the courtroom again. We're on top of it now. is the town hall. And we're going to go down the street. We're going to be seen. In here is the tower of the clock. And then we're going to go to the cathedral.
What a lot of people don't realise is that Castle Grayskull was originally situated here in St Albans until it became a toy line and later a cartoon. And that's the original He-Man right there, Prince Adam.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's called the Village Arcade, so it must have been the arcade, like the small shopping center of the town at a point in history. And at the moment there is just few shops that look quite traditional. Very cute. After a stop to look at the clock tower and the Village Arcade, we walk towards the Bean Tree Gardens and St Albans Norman Cathedral and Abbey.
Lovely day. In 1066, William the Conqueror led the Normans to victory in the Battle of Hastings. From 1077, Abbot Paul began rebuilding the earlier Saxon abbey using material from the Roman Verulamium. It wasn't until 1877 that the site actually became labelled a cathedral. Today, a long tapestry adorns one of the walls telling the story of its history.
We left the cathedral and headed towards the Verulamium Museum, where lots of Roman treasures and history await. So we are in the Verulamium Museum. This museum is settled in the same place the Verulamium Roman city was settled in St Albans, and we couldn't think of a better place to talk to you about the Roman regions of Valentine's Day than in here, surrounded by all this Roman history. Some people claim that the Christian Church may have decided to place St. Valentine's Day in the middle of February in an effort to Christianize the pagan celebration of Lupercalia. Lupercalia was an ancient pagan festival held each year in Rome between the 13th and the 15th of February. Unlike Valentine's Day, however, Lupercalia was a bloody, violent, and sexually charged celebration awash with animal sacrifice, random matchmaking, and coupling in the hopes of warding off evil spirits and infertility. No one knows the exact origin of Lupercalia, but it has been traced back as far as the 6th century BC.
The festival began at Lupercal Cave, the cave where the mythical founders of Rome, Romulus and Remus, were nurtured by the she-wolf Lupercal, with the sacrifice of one or more male goats, a representation of sexuality, and a dog. The sacrifices were performed by Luperci, a group of Roman priests. Afterwards, the foreheads of 2 naked Luperci were smeared with the animal's blood, using the bloody sacrificial knife. The blood was then removed with a piece of milk-soaked wool. The feast began after the ritual sacrifice. When the feast of Lupercal was over, the Luperci cut strips of goat hide from the newly sacrificed goats. They then ran naked around Palatine, whipping any woman within striking distance with the hide. Many women welcomed the lashes and even bared their skin to receive the fertility rite.
During Lupercalia, the men randomly choose a woman's name from a jar to be coupled with them for the duration of the festival. Often, the couple stayed together until the following year's festival. Many fell in love and married. In the late 5th century AD, Pope Gelasius eliminated the pagan celebration of Lupercalia and declared February 14th a day to celebrate the martyrdom of St Valentines instead. Although it is highly unlikely he intended the day to commemorate love and passion. It is true Valentine's Day uses some of Lupercalia's symbols, intentionally or not, such as the color red, which represented a blood sacrifice during Lupercalia, and the color white, which signified the milk used to wipe the blood clean and represent new life and procreation. So we're looking around and you see all this amazing amount of material, but just a museum guide or museum person just came to us to show us this. Underneath each cabinet, not only that one.
See if you can get the detail on this one. I'll try and put it in the light.
I don't think with this camera, maybe
No.
with the other camera, but just showing the amount of things. And this one is mountains of boxes.
So much stuff.
It's incredible.
This is actually original, some of it at least, is original plasterwork from sites around here in St Albans or Verulamium.
And the museum historian has as well pointed to us to that little scratch of a chicken in there, which is probably been made by a naughty Roman child.
Yeah, ancient Roman graffiti.
Awesome.
All of these mosaics are originals. Some little squares have been filled in, but they're in amazing condition. The guy was saying that there's loads more of these still underground, and they found them through kind of radar, but they haven't disturbed them yet, so there's still more to find.
Wow. many things in there. It's unbelievable. It's a very small but very rich museum. They charge you £6 for the entrance, but to be honest, like, thinking all the work that is still to do, all the digging, all the archaeological work that needs to be done, I don't mind paying that money if it's going to help continue with the work. So, really amazing little place that is, and definitely it was the perfect place to tell you about the origins of the story, or one of the possible origins of the story of Valentine's Day. So we hope you found this video informative and that you enjoy coming with us in this literal cultural adventure. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time.